Hello, hello, hello. Streaming a little early today. I don't know if that was like the greatest idea or not. Probably should have stuck to on time, but what the hell. I wasn't doing anything, so. It is super hot in here, though. I wish it wasn't that hot in here. Hey, what's up, Shania? Hold on, I need to go knock my AC down just a smidge. I'm like burning up in here. Give me a second, I'll be right back. What's up, Nat B? Sorry, I had to turn down my AC and also get chapstick. I normally always have chapstick in my pocket, but I didn't put it in my sweatpants today. Ever since I started working from home, that's all I wear. That's all I wear is sweatpants. I could probably wear shorts, but I'm streaming and I don't like wearing shorts. I do if I'm not, like going out in public or anything like that. Then I'll wear, like if I'm just chilling at home, then I'll just, I don't know, sometimes. I just really don't like wearing shorts. Not a big shorts person. I think that's the only, like, really one of the only things clothing-wise that I, like, refuse to wear. I'll wear, like, if we're going to the beach, I'll wear board shorts. Because I'm that kind of lesbian. But, that's pretty much it. I don't, other than board shorts at the beach, I don't wear shorts. I'll wear jeans or sweatpants. Or, like, nice work pants. Although now I work from home, so now I just wear sweatpants. Hey, what's up? I'm Wanda's new microwave. Goldfish Jed Ben. Pretty much. I just don't know what their ship name is going to end up being. Either way, it sounds kind of weird. It sounds a little weird. Either Jen or Ben. I'm assuming it would probably be Jen. I love them so much, though. We didn't get them in the last episode, so I'm kind of annoyed at that. I think we'll probably end up getting them this coming up episode. We better. I miss them. I miss them. That's their ship name? Their ship name is Jed Ben? Like, they just flat out put their names together? I don't like it. Who came up with that? Who comes up with ship names? That's what I want to know. Is it Twitter? Is it just like Twitter in general just comes up with ship names? I think it's a dumb ship name. They'll be in the next episode? Okay, good. Because I need them in my life. Especially, like, Jed. He's had a lot of character development, and then for him to, like, be bisexual, I'm, like, living for it. Yep, on Twitter pretty much. I figured Twitter was like, anytime, I feel like anytime people are like they, like whenever they say, like whatever, I feel like a lot of it's just Twitter. Or Bed Jin. Bed Jed. You go for bed. See, I don't know which one I prefer. I think the one that sounds right would be Jin. But I'm kind of digging bed. But I don't know if it's just because, like, I'm dirty or what. Oh, that's not what I meant to click on. Jeb. Maybe. I mean, I would prefer that over, like, Jed Ben. Like, just combine. Like, I just feel like there was no sort of thought process to that ship name. But there is a girl named Jin on the show. That's right. So? Then bed, then. I don't know. They could have renamed the Jin girl something else, or just flat out, you could just call her Jennifer. And she's brand new, too, so they could just call her Jennifer or something. I don't know. Or Jenny. I feel like Jenny's a little... It doesn't suit her, but... The demigod? Yeah, I know. Bed, I'm calling it. Then let's just call him Bed. I'm all for it. I'm all for calling him something else. I just felt like there was no creativity in that ship name that they have. Why do I keep clicking on that one? There. There we go. Now it's getting cooler in here. Lord. It was getting... I swear it gets up to, like, late 70s something in here. Because there's a lot of tech in here. And it's a small room. I think this is the smallest bedroom. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure this is our smallest bedroom. It could be... Well, I know it's not bigger than the other two. Because they are pretty massive. It's between this one and the one that's that way. They might be the same size. This room could look smaller because it's got so much stuff in it. It's like fully furnished. Meanwhile, like none of the other bedrooms are fully furnished. So that could be why it looks small. But still. So it gets super hot in here because you've got I've got two laptops. I've got my Mac Mini. I've got the monitors, four monitors because I've got two here. The PlayStation puts off a lot of heat. The fridge. I feel like the fridge doesn't put off that much heat. It might. It's constantly running. You might even be able to hear it in the background. Actually, I'm curious. Hold on. A little bit, but it's not like... I feel like it's not really considered a contributor to the heat factor in here. I could only really feel the heat when my hand was like right on it. But it's the PlayStation mainly. I know it's the PlayStation because anytime I turn off the PlayStation, then it gets freezing in here. I think that's about it tech-wise, though. It's still a lot. Well, I guess Ketradora is their two names put together. And their ship name is pretty good, I guess. True. Yeah, but at least their names go together. Like, it flows together. Because you've got Ketra, and then you got Adora. So you could just easily glue their names together, not Jed Ben. Like, that doesn't sound... It doesn't flow like Catchadora. Bed is good. I agree. I think we're just going to start calling them Bed. I think Legacies should have given Ben a better name. I don't hate the name Ben. I actually really like the name Ben. I think for a god, though... You know what, though? It's funny because he said... Because he's Prometheus, but he said, you know... He mentioned, he goes, you know, my actual name... Like, people don't know how to pronounce it. Like, and so he's never actually mentioned it. I don't know if there's, like, a... like, you can find it somewhere, like, Prometheus's actual name or whatever. But he said, like, you can't actually pronounce it. And so... His name is now... Like, he goes by Ben. Because... It's just easy. So I think that's why they didn't come up with some, like, super elaborate name for him, but I like Ben. Yeah, I hope they tell us his real name. I hope so too, but I don't know if they will or not. I want him and Jed to, like... I'm hoping it's going to be in this episode where they communicate more and then, like, well, at least for Jed to come open about his feelings and all that. Ben is simple like Jed. Well, I think, and they make it so that they have a lot in common, which I like. Because they do have a lot in common. Jed is very different in this season than he has been in the past couple seasons. Which I like. I absolutely love Jed in this season. And it's not just because he basically came out as bisexual, but... I don't, like, he's just had so much character development, and then he's more of, like, a main character in this season, I feel like, versus, like, a semi-main character in the past seasons. Yep, he used to be a bully. I know! I love character development, though, in shows. Like, they take the most villainous or, like, mean or rotten or, like, whatever you want to call them. They take, like, those type of characters and then they, like, give them so much character development, and I freaking love it. I mean, that's hence the name, like, Evil QK or whatever, because I love villainous characters because not only are they the most interesting, but then they have so much, like, if the shows do it right, then they're... character development is just, it makes him like your favorite character. I've always liked his character, though. He's got a lot of, I don't even know what to call it. Like, I don't want to say baggage. He's just got a lot of stuff going on, and, I think it makes him an interesting character. Hey, Steve. You're on early today? Yeah, I know I'm on early today. I was bored, so I was like, hey, I was either going to play video games or start early, so I was like, I might as well start early. Because I like streaming. Especially now that I work from home, I don't talk to anyone other than my wife and, well, our roommate. My wife, our roommate, and then my parents. That's it. I don't talk to anyone. Well, no, that's pretty much it. I occasionally will text one of my old work buddies. So whenever I like to, like, stream and talk to you guys. So I figured that if I streamed early, not as many people would be on, but I don't really care. I don't really care about that. That stuff. I don't really care about, like, analytics and all that stuff when I'm streaming. Because for me, the streaming part is completely different. And I love it. It's its own thing. But was gonna say something else too, and I don't remember. Oh, and then, so, not only because this is like my communication with the outside world, but Anna does stuff on, like, she is out and about on like Tuesdays and Wednesday nights. Well, it's always consistently at least Wednesday nights. So I'm like, I'm bored. So I mean, I guess I could record, but I like the schedule that I've had for myself recently where in the mornings is when I'll record. During the day, like whenever I have time during the day, I'll like edit that video. And then at night, I can focus on like doing stuff with Anna or just kind of chilling out and doing my own thing so that I don't kind of like get burnout. Which has usually been lately like playing video games more. I've gotten more into that. I've been getting into baking a little bit more too. I haven't done it this month as much because we're like a damn sugar-free month for me. But Anna and our roommate have decided that they were going to join me in on this sugar-free month. I don't know why they wanted to do it with me, but they are. Oh, and it sucks so bad. But in April, the 1st of April, I said I am making homemade tiramisu. I've never done it before, but I love tiramisu, and I want to make homemade tiramisu. So that's what I'm going to do on April 1st. I'm like, if I can hold out until April 1st, then I will make my own, make homemade tiramisu. I'm excited about it. He said that he named himself Ben because it's simple, and he likes simple, so I'm guessing his real name is Prometheus. It is, but he said that in that scene, he said, because Jed's like, you're Prometheus, aren't you? And he's like, I'm not as dumb as I look. And Ben said, yes, I am Prometheus, but actually, like my birth name or like my actual given name is so complicated that people can't like pronounce, or like humans can't pronounce, or something like that. Like he said something to that reference. So he said that's why I just go by Ben. And that's why I think his simple name is great. And really, I love the name Ben too, so I don't think it's like simple. I just think it's short. So I think it's the opposite of what he technically has, so that's why he's going for it. Because he hated the complicated name, so he named himself something simple. I never really cared for Jed, but now he's more interesting. It's not that I didn't really care for Jed. I think it's because he wasn't that much of a main character to begin with. And so you can't really, like, you couldn't really, like, open up to the possibility of, like, really caring about Jed. Or at least not as, like, much as the main characters. So I feel like in this season, he's been more of a main character. And I wonder if they did that because of Josie. Because they were like, well, now that we don't have Josie, then we can, like, bring these other characters to light and, you know, do all that. So I wonder if that's why we're getting more Jed in this season. I love, also, since Josie, who's a bisexual, whenever she left, I love that they basically that they had Jed come out as bisexual. I didn't even, like, realize that till just now, but, like, good, because I need more gay characters, and they heard my prayers, because I wanted a gay male character so bad, and now we have it, and Jed and Ben are, like, super good looking, so we don't have, like, some sort of, like, ugly gay man character. It's two good looking gay man characters, so I'm super happy about that. So you like Kreese and Silver from Cobra Kai if you like the villains. I like them. Yes, I do like them. Are they my favorite characters? No, not necessarily in that show. A lot of the villainous characters are my favorite characters in shows, but they're not my favorite, but I like them. And I think it's just because they're very interesting, they're very different, and you want to hate them. And so, but then you end up learning some sort of sad past that they have, and then you're like, aw, and then it like tugs on your heartstrings and everything, especially like Kreese. Like, he went through so much, and we got to see a little bit of that in not really this season, but the last season, season 3. So we got to see more of his backstory in season 3, which I really liked. And then we got a little bit of backstory for him, and it was like him and Silver. It wasn't really him focused. But they're definitely the most interesting characters. Are you going to react to the official season 3 The Boys trailer? Probably. Probably when I get done with Cruel Summer. I'm almost done with Cruel Summer. So once that gets done, I'm going to do The Boys trailer. I'm going to do Bridgerton trailer. I'm trying to do more trailers now. But Bridgerton, there's another one too, and I don't remember at the top of my head. The Boys, Bridgerton. Let me look at my list. Gentleman Jack. Maybe The Wilds, if that has a... I don't know if they have an official trailer for that yet. Once it does, then I will. For anything that is going to end up being newer, I want to try to do a trailer reaction. I've only ever done like 2 or 3 trailer reactions. I can't wait for The Boys, though. I'm excited. It's been, like, what, 2 years since we've seen The Boys? Or it'll be 2 years. Jed and Raphael had a lot of chemistry. They did, but I don't think that they didn't really put any focus towards it or anything. Not that made you be like, could this be something? Like, because I have, like, the worst gaydar ever. And even with my terrible gaydar, I sometimes, like, you can, when they're insinuating something, then you can kind of pick up on it. But I don't, they just didn't show enough of the two of them, I feel like. But I can totally get that they had chemistry. Or they had something. Off-topic question, was your favorite villain, like, in anything? The Evil Queen. Again, hence the name. When I was a kid, it's mainly, like, if we're talking Disney, then the Evil Queen, because when I was a kid watching, like, Disney movies and stuff like that, I always loved the villains because I'm like, they were cool. They had cool gadgets. They didn't do the nicest things, which hence the reason why they were a villain, but, like, they were cool. And they were fascinating. And so, like, Jafar was terrible, but he had, like, his staff, he had cool powers. He even looked cool when he was a fucking genie. And then, like, I mean, I could tell you tons of, like, just different things about the different villains in shows. And I feel like the main good guy or the main antagonist or whatever you want to call him, I can't really speak that much about him. I did love Dexter because he's, like, realistically a villain, right? But then he's also the antagonist. So, I don't know. It's hard to tell. Like, that was kind of the whole point of Dexter was, is he a villain or is he not a villain, you know? But, I mean, Evil Queen is obviously what comes to mind, but I'm trying to think of non-Disney. I love the Mummy movies. So, like, the evil, what the fuck was his name? Emotep. Emotep was really cool. Because he had some cool powers or whatever. And then, maybe not so much Underworld, because they all kind of have the same powers. So the villains were just kind of assholes. But yeah. Have you seen the animated version of The Boys? No, I have not. Is it good? Is it, like, exactly like the episodes and just, like, an animated version of them? Or is it something, like, completely different, like, with different storylines and, like, whatever? So I take it Frollo wasn't your favorite Disney villain? Who? Hold on. Let me see. I have to look it up because maybe... Oh, for Hunchback. That's right. Okay, hold on. No, it's been a long time since I've seen Hunchback. I didn't really care so much for the Hunchback movies. I've seen them, but no, not that I can remember. He's not one of my favorites, that's for sure. Yeah, and then, but also, like, Maleficent, she was super cool, and she had, like, a fucking dragon. Well, in the comics, wait, was she still the dragon in the comics? Or not comics, in the cartoon? Or did she just have a dragon? I don't remember. But then you have Ursula, and Ursula's freaking awesome. Then you have, like, Beast from Beauty and the Beast, which massive character development there. Like, because he was a villain. And then, well, I guess Gaston would technically be a villain in that, wouldn't he? But Gaston's not really my favorite. I mean, Gaston is, like, he can sing. He's got basically the whole package except for emotions. Well, he has emotions, just not lovingly emotions. So, yeah, he would technically be the villain in that movie, but... Still, the Beast, you can kind of consider him being a little bit of a villain, because he wasn't, like, that great in the beginning, and then he has character development, and it makes him better. I loved Hades. He was super sassy. Yes! Hades! That's another one. That was great. I even thought that they were going to bring... Because originally I thought Ben was going to be Hercules. I thought he was that demigod. Because it lined up everything so perfect. I was so sure that he was Hercules. I was so sure. And then they even brought in the blue guy. Or they were talking about a blue-faced guy in the same episode. And I'm like, fucking Hades. And I'm like, I was right. I'm like, it's Hercules and Hades. And it ended up being like a genie and Prometheus. And I'm like, what? I'm like, huh? Okay. I was so sure. It was pretty funny. But yeah, Hades, I hope they kind of incorporate Hercules and Hades in with the show, but because now they're talking about gods and stuff, you know. But yeah, Hades was a good villain. Maleficent was a dragon. I know she was a dragon in the Maleficent movies. I just couldn't remember in the cartoon version if she was a dragon or if that was her pet that she turned into a dragon. No, wait. I don't think she's a dragon in the... I think I got it backwards. I don't think in the live action she was... In the live action, she wasn't a dragon. It was the cartoon one where she was a dragon. In the live action, she turned her bird thing, her crow, into the dragon. That's right. I just got it backwards. Yo, you're on earlier than normal. I know. I know. I figured I'd like end up throwing everyone off by jumping on earlier, but I needed a little bit of human interaction. I was gonna say human connection, and that was I'm good on that part, but like the human interaction part. I mean, I technically, because I like work like with a team, like, but my team, I really only talk to like really like one person during the day. Like I'll chat them, like we'll chat back and forth on different things that we've got going on with our day, but that's it. So I pretty much talk to like the same people all the time, and I'm like, I need to talk to some more people. Just eating a bag of mixed nuts since I ate a really big lunch and went to the gym earlier. Good for you. I don't like going to the gym. Mainly, I don't like... Okay, so there's actually a couple of main reasons why I don't go to the gym. One is because it smells really bad in there, and I can't handle it. Another one is I don't like that much of human interaction. I don't... no. I like working out. I just don't like going to the gym. So we've talked about getting... Like, I used to have a treadmill, but whenever we moved across country, like, I sold it because I'm like, it's too fucking heavy and I don't want to deal with it. So I sold... It was a pretty nice treadmill, though. Like, so we used to have a treadmill, but I sold it. And then we want to... Anna goes to the gym. She's been stopping going lately because we just have a lot going on, but she's gonna end up going back soon, which I can tell you more about that next week. But so she's gonna go back to the gym on a regular, but because that type of stuff doesn't bother her, but it's mainly like when the gym smells. It's not even like the sweaty people, it's the cleaning solution that they use. It stinks so bad, and I'm like, I can't, because then my car will smell like it. It is the worst fucking smell. They need to get different type of the spray, whatever the fuck they use. It is horrible. Stinks so bad. It's like the worst smell. Well, probably not the worst smell out there, but it's pretty bad. You guys know what I'm talking about? Like, if you go to... I don't know, because pretty much the only gym that we have around here... It's not the only gym that we have around here, but another reason is I don't want to pay more money to go to a different gym. But Planet Fitness is the one that I used to go to. But if any of you guys, like, go to Planet Fitness and you know what I'm talking about by the whatever cleaning solution that they use, it stinks. And it's like, I don't want to smell like it. And then you have to drive home, so then my car will end up smelling like it, and then it lingers, and it's like, no. But they actually did make Maleficent somewhat of a dragon in the live-action sequel. Yeah, I think they did. I think that's why I'm thinking, like... And I'm like, wasn't she a dragon? Hold on. I mean, she is in the animated version, for sure. For sure. But I'm trying to look. I can't remember. It's been a hot minute since I've seen the live-action ones. The live-action ones were good. I mean, she had her wings. She had her wings, right? But, like, I'm trying to see... I don't think she was. I mean, she had her horns and her wings, but I wouldn't really consider her being a dragon in the live action. Technically. But she was for sure in the animated version. Super important question. Milk or cereal first? Cereal. Whoever puts milk first. Actually, hold on. Depends on the cereal. So normally, yes, cereal first. But if it's a cereal that gets soggy, like, pretty quick, because I don't eat very fast. It takes me forever to eat things. So, because I'm just a snacker. Like, I don't really like, I would prefer eating snacks over, like, meals. So, for example, mini wheats. That one, technically I put the milk first. So what I do is, like, I have the box of cereal, like, beside me, and then I have, like, a bowl of milk, and then I'll just put, like, I'll throw a couple of the mini wheats in there, and then I'll eat it. And then I'll pour a little bit more of the mini wheats in there, and then I'll eat it. And then basically I'll do that until the milk's gone, and then I'm done. So that's what I do with mini wheats. But if it's like Captain Crunch, or if it's like any other type of cereal that doesn't really get soggy as quick, then yeah, cereal first, all the time. But mini wheats, it's a little bit different because it gets soggy pretty quickly. So I do milk first, I guess. I was about to lay some major shade and, like, judgment upon people who put milk first, and then I'm like, oh wait, no. Because I do love me some cereal. I love cereal, so it depends on the cereal. Go to a different gym that doesn't smell really bad, or tell them to use a different spray to clean the gym back, and not interacting with people. That happens everywhere you go in your local shop. Yeah, but, like, honestly, if I could have it my way, I would just, like, have my own gym at home. I just don't want to spend the money on, like, getting the equipment. That's pretty much where I'm at. And, like, we're gonna end up trying to start to have a baby soon, and then I don't want to, like, you can still work out while getting pregnant and while being pregnant, but I don't want to. I really don't want to, so not while in the process of, like, trying to have a baby anyway. Like I said, I like working out, I just don't like going to the gym. I also go swimming twice a week as well. The only thing with swimming is I'm so weird about different things. I would totally go swimming under circumstances like if it's chlorine, I would have to wear a cap because my hair gets super brittle with chlorine. It dries my hair out really, really bad, like most people's, but so I'd have to wear a cap, or my thing is especially in public pools, like, it doesn't really bother me, the whole public pool typical stuff, like the pee in the pool, or like finding band-aids, or like the whole sanitation thing. That actually doesn't bother me. Like, it's whatever. The thing that bothers me is, one of my biggest pet peeves is I don't like to be wet. I don't like to be wet. And I don't even like baths. That's why I always take a shower. I think we have a pretty nice bathtub in our bedroom, and I don't hardly ever use it. Anna loves to take baths. Nope, I don't. She takes baths in there quite a bit, but I think I've only done it like 3 or 4 times in the 2.5 years of, well, not in like the 2 years that we lived here. So I don't like to be wet. I get that, like, at home, at least, like, you're naked in the tub, so then you get out and it's basically, like, the same thing. I just don't like sitting in water for a long period of time. Like, a glass of wine or, like, whatever. That freaks me out. It freaks me out. And I would rather take a shower. What's soothing to me is I feel like I like hot tubs, so hot tubs are, like, a little bit different. But it would have to be a hot tub at, like, my house or somewhere, like, I would have to have a change of clothes. Sometimes, like, whenever you go hang out with friends and if you just have your, like, swimming suit on or whatever, and then you just throw, like, a shirt over it. So, like, if you go to, like, because we live not far from the beach, if I get wet at the beach and then we're going somewhere after the beach and not coming straight home, I have to bring a change of clothes. Because I hate sitting. I hate being wet. It drives me nuts. It's just one of my biggest pet peeves. I don't know. I wish I wasn't like that, but I've always been like that, even as a kid. I don't like to be wet. I love the ocean. I love swimming in swimming pools. But I have to have something to change into if I'm not coming straight home. Like, I don't even like sitting in the car. Like, if I'm sitting in the car on my way home, no. Like, if it's as soon as I get out of a swimming pool or the ocean or whatever, if I'm not getting back in, I'm going to go change before anything. And that's another thing is I don't want my hair to be wet. And then, because then my hair will drip on my clothes. Like, especially if I go to change and then my hair is still wet and then it'll, like, drip on my clothes. No. I only really oh, wait. I didn't read your other one. Love how you backtracked about the cereal. Yeah, because... And that's what I was saying. I was throwing some, like, I was about to throw some major shade and judgment towards people who put milk first, but... I do it. I do it with certain types of cereals. But usually my instinct is to go cereal first and then milk. I only really take baths when I'm in serious pain. Yeah, I've done that. So I've had a lot of head injuries as a teenager. And so, like, I've had at least 4 major head injuries in my teens. And so one of them... I took a couple of baths for my biggest one. Well, as you know, swimming, you move so you don't just sit there, but also love my leisure center as also has a wave machine and water fumes. Water flume? I don't know what that is. Yeah, no, and that's why I was like, I love to swim. I love to get in a swimming pool, the beach, whatever. But it's the fact of afterwards is I am standing somewhere and I'm wet. And then I'm like, I have to change. Oh, you was talking about baths just sitting there? Like, yeah, like if you know, a lot of people, because they're like, yeah, I just want to relax and chill out and just like lay in the bathtub and just have a glass of wine. Like, that is not relaxation to me. Anna does that sometimes. Like, she's like, I just need to take a bath and just relax. And I'm like, you're a weirdo, but okay. I know it's a very common thing. So it's, I'm the weirdo for not thinking it's it's not relaxing. Yeah, but I can only, if I get in the bath, I can only be in the bath for like maybe 5 minutes. Because it'll just start getting to me and then I'm like, this is not relaxing. But if we're also talking about things like food that belong, can I just say that pineapple 100% belongs on pizza. It is like the best pizza topping on the planet. I don't think there's another pizza topping that I would say banana peppers. I do love banana peppers. It's probably banana peppers, pineapple. And especially if you have both of those on a pizza, perfect. Perfect pizza. What do you do when it rains? It depends. If I know it's gonna rain and I'm out and about, I at least have a jacket. It still freaks me out. It still freaks me out. It's just I'm not as freaked out. I just kind of internally freak out. Sometimes, like, my level of freak out, you can't really tell that I'm freaking out until, like, I hit a certain point. But usually, like, if I'm somewhere and I get caught in the rain, and as long as I'm not drenched in water, like, my freak out level is at, like, a 2. But if, like, I get drenched in water, then my freak out level will definitely hit 10 eventually if I'm not in dry clothes soon. Water flumes or water slides. Oh, never heard it called that before. I would totally even go to a water park. I would love to go to a water park. But as soon as we're done being in the water at the water park, before we come home, before I get in the car to go on my way home, I have to change. Because especially sitting in the car when you're wet, nope. It grosses me out. Grosses me out. I'm trying to think what else is like a pet peeve for me. Mouth noises. Like when people drink or eat something. Even my own mouth noises freak me out sometimes. Like especially when I was watching Chucky, the dad, like with his slurping his whiskey or bourbon or whatever it was that he was drinking, I was like, oh God, stop. No. So like mukbang would be a nightmare. Sometimes when I'm like scrolling past like the, I don't have TikTok, but like the YouTube shorts when I'm like scrolling past them, and sometimes they pop up, because you know they always do. They pop up and I have to like quickly scroll past them, because if you last like 2 seconds on one of those things, then your YouTube shorts will be nothing but mukbang videos. And I'm like, nope. So I have to like quickly, yeah, I've even tried to stay on one just to dislike it and then scroll past it. Doesn't work. It sounds like you kind of have aquaphobia. Is it aquaphobia? I feel like, because I like to swim. I love the ocean. I've snorkeled before, would love to scuba dive. I love being on boats. Like I used to hang out with some friends who like had a boat, and like I used to attempt to surf on the boat, because they had like a surfing boat. I would try to like do that, and that for me is okay, because as long as I'm on the boat and I'm wet, I'm like, it's okay, because like I know I'm probably gonna get wet again, or like whatever. Like my brain is like, this is okay, because you're just gonna get wet again. You're fine. You're cool. Just chill out. So that's the way my brain operates. But as soon as we get off the boat, I have to change. And then, like I said, I like swimming pools. Like I would totally get a swimming pool put into my yard eventually, or whatever. I would love to do that, and that wouldn't bother me as much, because it's at my own home, so I can just quickly change. So I don't know if I would consider that aquaphobia. I would just consider that my weirdness. I would consider that just plain old Cassidy weirdness. I totally agree with you about pineapple on pizza. Such a controversial subject. Glad you like water parks. I don't know why pineapple on pizza is a controversial subject. I don't know why. It's so funny how it is, because I love it. I've always loved, I love pineapple in general, but like pineapple on pizza just goes. It just goes. And how people don't like it, I'm like, why? How? And I do love water parks. I used to go to water parks all the time when I was a kid. But I would always have to make sure that I have a change of clothes. That's why I said kind of. I don't, yeah, I mean, I get, like, it's a fear of, I guess it's kind of a fear of water. I don't even know. It's just a fear of being wet, I feel like. Ablutophobia? I don't know what that is. Hold on, I have to Google it. I've never heard of that one before. A fear of bathing is a very common toddler phobia. Wow. And usually shows up around ages 1 to 2. Of course. Oh, I'm like crying a little bit because it just like cracked me up. There's a reason for that. During these years of rapid brain growth, toddlers develop what seems to be hyper awareness of their surroundings. That is hilarious. Maybe. That might be what it is. The symptoms of ablutovia, I don't even know how you say that, are the same as with most specific phobias. Symptoms may occur when faced with bathing or washing. They may also occur when just thinking about it. Yeah, but but my thing is I don't have a problem showering, obviously. If anything, sometimes, especially depending on, like, the time of month, I take multiple showers a day. So, like, that is no problem to me. It's just, like, it's just being wet. Because I have to be clean, because that's a part of my OCD. So I'm a very clean person. But I wonder, let me Google it. Is there a fear of being wet? No, it just says aquaphobia. This is an irrational fear of an irrational fear of something that doesn't cause much danger. You may have aquaphobia if you find that any source of water causes you an excessive amount of anxiety. This can include a swimming pool, a lake, an ocean, or even a bathtub. Well, I mean, kinda. I guess it could be a kind of a part of aquaphobia. Hydrophobia and aquaphobia. Hydrophobia is caused by physical symptoms related to a rabies infection, whereas aquaphobia is typically due to traumatic experiences involving water. I have dumb fears. I don't even know if that would be considered I don't know. Would you say that was a fear, or would that just be a pet peeve? Because what I would consider one of my fears, I have some dumbass fears. Let me tell you. Dumb. Escalators. Specifically the down escalators. I have a fear of. Ever since I was a kid, I have a fear of down escalators. Even to this day, if I get on an escalator, I have to have my hands free. It is so funny because anytime, like, we have went to sports games where we have to get on you have to get on an escalator because, like, they don't have stairs, or, like, they have, like, sometimes they have an elevator, but during the COVID times, they were like, the line was always so long for the elevator, and, like, the line was usually handicapped people. So then I didn't want to get in line to use the elevator behind all these handicapped people. And so I am, like, death gripping onto the, like, the sides of and I don't even like to touch those things because I'm like it's gross. But I have to because I have a fear that I'm going to trip and fall down an escalator. So escalators I have a fear of. And then, here's a big one. It's actually kind of common. So this one's kind of common. Trypophobia. I've always, gross. So trypophobia and down escalators. I don't even think it's necessarily a height thing. Sometimes it's a height thing with escalators for me. Because my fear is tripping down them. But I would love to go skydiving at some point. So that to me is like not so much a fear of heights. Like I kind of do with a fear of heights, but I kind of don't. I think it's just like if I feel like if I'm not secured somehow, like if I don't have a parachute or like a bungee cord or something connected to me, like that's where it becomes fearful. Side note, the second Harry Potter movie gave me arachnophobia for like a month. See, I don't even have arachnophobia. I don't have any of the typical fear, or like the typical fear. I don't have, like, arachnophobia, I'm fine. Escalaphobia? Is that what it's actually called? Is that even a thing? Sometimes I feel like, is that even a thing? And then, usually, if you think of it, it's a thing. No, it is a thing. Escalaphobia is the fear of escalators and is surprisingly common. Wow, according to the Elevator Escalator Safety Foundation, that's the thing. Okay, over 35,000 escalators in the United States and Canada move 245 million people per day. Yet despite their frequent usage, escalators are scary for some people. I definitely have that. I thought you were just typing in something, like, I thought you were just combining phobia with escalators, but it's a legit thing. This cracks me up. I remember when I was a kid, and I have to text this to my mother. When I was a kid, I was like maybe 13, 14 years old, and we were going on a down escalator, and I freaked out, and I like stood there at the top of the escalator while my mom was in front of me and she went down the escalator, and I was so afraid. And then my mom was like at the bottom of the escalator, and she was like, come down, even though she knew I was like afraid of the escalators. But I was like 13, 14 at the time, so you would think that like I could still get past it. But so she was like, come down, and I'm like freaking out, and I'm like, no, I can't do it. And this like little old lady with this, I remember too, this little old lady with this like cane, she's like, do you want me to hold your hand? And I'm like, yes. It was, I just remember that, like, some of those memories, like, as long as I think I have like some sort of security, like someone holding my hand, or like Anna won't hold my hand going down it because she's like, come on, like, let's just go. Well, a lot of times Anna won't hold my hand because she's holding the stuff that we have, because like poor Anna, she is like she has like drinks and food and everything like in her hand while I'm like death gripping both of my hands onto an escalator. So that's why she doesn't normally hold my hand on an escalator, because she's holding everything else. Let's see what she says. I'm curious. If you look it up, there's actually a fear of phobias. What? What is that called? Sorry, I was like crushing my can and I didn't want it to be right up in the mic. How many different water parks have you been to? Not how many times you've been to them, but different locations. Mine is over 40 plus. My first memories, I was 3, but went to some water parks before that. Oh, I have no idea. It's definitely not that many. Like 4 or 5. Because, let's see, I was born in Arizona. No, I have been to one water park in Arizona, but that was later on. And then lived in Arkansas for like 20-ish years, 20-something years. I've been to 2 water parks in Arkansas. There was like one in Memphis, I want to say. I don't think I've been to any while we've been here in Florida. I'm trying to think. Yeah, it's like maybe 4 or 5. I mean, if you consider some parts of like maybe Universal or Disney World or something a water park, but like those that are like designated water parks, I've been to like 4 or 5. My fear is getting shoelace stuck in an escalator and being mutilated. Yes, anytime when I feel like I'm gonna trip down an escalator, it's because of a shoelace. I always look at my shoes before I go on an escalator. Phobophobia? The name of some of these things. I bet that's actually what it's called, but it's kind of funny. Not as in funny like it's funny how you have that fear. It's like funny because it's phobophobia. Just the name of it. But it's funny how we're talking about fears. I'm trying to think if there's any other fears that I have. I don't think so. I don't have a fear of snakes. I don't have because we had a bunch of snakes growing up. I don't have a fear of really any kind of animal. Or any insects. Hold on, I'm trying to think because I want to say there's a couple of insects that I've been freaked out about. I think it's fine. Sometimes some insects freak me out, but I wouldn't necessarily even call them a fear. Because whenever I think of fear, I think of my fear of escalators and trypophobia. That shit. Like, trypophobia will haunt me. And, like, I want to throw up whenever I see trypophobia stuff. You know what's funny is that, like, well, it's not really funny, but Anna has it too. Anna has trypophobia. And it's, oh my gosh. So, when I was growing up, and I would tell my mom, I'm like, Mom, I have a fear. Well, at the time I didn't know it was called trypophobia, and I told her, and I'm like, I have a fear of holes. She's like, what are you talking about? You have a fear of holes? And I'm like, I have a fear of holes. You know, like the collection of like like I'm even getting goosebumps like even talking about it. But she goes, that's not a thing. That's not a thing. You're just like, it's dumb. And then I'm like, no. I'm like, it freaks me out though. Gives me shivers. And like, oh, okay, I have to be careful talking about it because like I'm starting to, but then I ended up finding the name and then I told Anna about it and then, yeah, we both have it. It's kind of funny. There's also a fear of sitting. That's kind of weird. That's a weird one for sure. That's weird. Oh, when I was, I already, like, there was an episode of Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, and if you've watched the show, you know what I'm talking about, especially because I was talking about trypophobia. There's a scene, oh god, it, like, freaks me the fuck out even thinking about it, but there's a scene where she's, like, an octopus, or at least her tongue, and I'm like, oh god, like, I couldn't. Oh, it freaked me out. I recorded it, but I don't think I ever uploaded it, because I couldn't edit it. It freaked me out, because I'm like, there was a scene in Legacies where the monster last season, there was a monster last season, or it could have even been this season. I think it was just earlier this season. There was a monster. Freaked me out, because he was all like, ugh. My nose is getting all itchy now, because it's like, I'm freaking out. Okay, enough talk about that one. I think that's it. I just have pet peeves. Another pet peeve is like spitting, like saliva. That freaks me out. That's a pet peeve. It's not a fear. It's just like gross. That sounds like anything with mouth stuff. I'm a very mouth conscious person. Like whenever I'm talking to someone, I look them in their eye, because like that's what you do whenever you talk to people. is you look them in the eye. Well, whenever I get done looking at them in the eye, I go, like, my first initial reaction is looking at their eyes and then looking at their mouth. That's what I do. As I look at your eyes and then I look at your mouth. And I know a lot of people are like, I've talked to people about that before. Because I just, like, I don't know. I always want to look at people's mouths. It's not because I want to kiss them. It's because I'm a very mouth conscious person. Because I've talked to people and they were like, well, you know that if you look at someone's mouth and they know that you're looking at their mouth, they think that you want to kiss them. And I'm like, no, that's dumb. I don't want to kiss them. Well, most of them anyway. I don't want to kiss them. It's just like, I look at people's mouths and I don't know what it is. Like, I'm looking at your lips. I'm looking at your teeth. Pretty much, like, I don't think I could be with a woman that has, like, a nasty mouth. And it's like crooked teeth, fine. Well, it depends on, like, how crooked, because my teeth used to be fucked up. So it's not even that. It's just like, are your teeth clean? Is your mouth clean? Is, like, I think that's what I'm looking at, is like, are you clean right there? But it's not even like, no, stop trying to do stuff. My watch has been weird lately. It's trying to, like, summon Siri. But that's what I do. Yeah, I also meant water parks and theme parks as well. I have a fear of heights. So goes from vertigo to really bad vertigo, depending on the situation. I call it getting a shaky leg. Because I don't think I get, like, vertigo from stuff like that. I just, my legs become super weak. Like, if I can tell that I'm starting to get too close to an edge, or I've even cliff jumped before, or cliff diving. I think it's what it's called. I've cliff dived. I've cliff dove? No. I think it's cliff dive. I don't know. So I've done that. I've done different things. As long as I know that I'm going to be okay. Well, cliff diving is a little bit different because you don't really know if you're going to be okay, but I'm a little bit of a daredevil who has a fear of escalators. I've done some crazy stuff. And you know what? Well, you know what's funny is that none of those cliff diving things were any of my major head injuries. I've never hurt myself cliff diving. But yeah, I've done some crazy stuff. All of my head injuries were because I was clumsy and competitive. So, except for one. One was a car accident. But that was the only scene in Chilling Adventures of Sabrina season 4 that I hated. Oh God, I freaked out. I freaked. I couldn't even edit it. Well, it was kind of good anyway, because I think it was a blessing in disguise, because I reacted to the first episode of season 4 and it was terrible, performed terribly. No one watched it. So I was like, okay, well, at the time I didn't know. So I went ahead and, like, recorded the second episode. And that's when that scene was at. And then I'm like, oh God. And I couldn't go back and edit it. Because I was just going to relive it all over again. And, like, I could shield my eyes from, like, watching it. But then if I go and edit it, it's harder to shield my eyes from it. It's an OCD manifestation. What is the mouth thing? Oh, I have OCD. I suffer from ADD and OCD and social anxiety. Like, I'm a hot bundle of mental health issues. I'm fun. I'm fun. And you know what's funny is that drunk me is the complete opposite of sober me. I am so much fun when I'm drunk. You know what's funny is the last time I got drunk, number one, I vomited in my mom's car, which I felt really bad about. But my sister and I are really close now. We weren't really close. We weren't close at all growing up, but we're really close now. So I got drunk, and well, it was a mixture of from having an anxiety attack and or was it a panic attack? It was a mixture. I think it was an anxiety attack. I don't think it was a panic attack. Anxiety attack mixed with drinking too much. And because I can hold my alcohol, but I didn't eat anything, and I still had too much alcohol, and then an anxiety attack. But anyway, so like I'm the life of the party when I'm drunk. I'm a fun drunk. And I think it's because I'm a tight ass when I'm sober. That's what Anna tells me. So, but I just kept running around. I was running around the house being like, I want to go on an adventure. My mom texted me back because I sent her the escalator phobia, the escalaphobia thing. And then she's like, yep, that's you. Tell you what freaked me out as a kid and as an adult, musical Phantom of the Opera. I remember when it came out to West End when I was like 5.5 and got a ticket. For me, I shouted not going. What freaked you out about Phantom of the Opera? Was it like his mask or whatever? Or what was underneath his mask? I just saw that there's a phobia for fear of an erection. I mean, I can kind of see that, I guess. Like, for males anyway. Well, I mean, I guess I could see it for females too. I don't know. But, like, for males, like, if they end up getting one, like, in public or something, and then, like, I can kind of see that. And then you're like, shit. Like, you don't really know what to do. I mean, I don't have that issue. But I can see that being an issue. The TV adverts for it on TV scared me, especially the music and segments being on TV award shows like the Olivier Awards. I think it's Olivier. Is that Olivier Awards, which we would watch, and when that came on, watched it peeking behind the sofa. I'm not even gonna say that message out loud. You should listen to Enough. He explores a lot of fear and phobia stuff in his music. I do listen to Enough. I think my favorite song by Enough is Paralyzed. That's actually one of my favorite songs in general. I was listening to it. I found it, oh God, how many years ago? Oh, it was like almost 10 years ago. It was like 8 years ago. And I remember specifically the moment when I heard it because I was watching some fandom video of Sarah Lance and Nissa Al Ghul from Arrow. And they threw on the song Paralyzed. Is it Paralyzed? It's Paralyzed. There's another song called Paralyzer. It's different. But I loved it. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Because I felt like it was so me, especially at the time. Because, like, this was, like, pre-coming out. And I was dating a guy at the time, and I'm like, oh God. Like, I was miserable. Because I didn't like him. But I was semi-stuck. And then I'm like, I don't know what to do. And so that was, like, kind of my whole life at that point. And so I listened to that song, and I'm like, oh, this is so me. I loved it. I related to it so hardcore. And I listen to his other stuff, too. But that's, like, my favorite song by him, and then / one of my favorite songs. I'm gonna get another drink. You guys, my dog bit me on my foot earlier, and it hurts like a mother trucker. It's already, like, I bruise really easy, so it bruised over, like, instantly. She didn't mean to. Her and Poncho were fighting, or play fighting, and they're children, I swear, because I was getting on to them because they play hard, and I was getting on to them because they were playing hard near me, and I kept getting on to them, and I was like, stop it, because you're gonna hurt me, and you need to chill out. And I'm like, fucking 2,500 square foot house, and you have to do that right next to right next to me. And so I got on them like 3 times, and then they did it again, and Lex went to go, like, not bite him, but, like, bite him, like, not, like, she wasn't causing harm, they were just fighting, but she went to go do it, and then she, like, caught my foot instead of him. She didn't really bite down, like, at least not hard, because it, like, didn't break skin, but it was hard enough to, like, basically instantly bruise my foot, and it freaking hurts. And that was, like, it was right before I came on stream. But my foot hurts. I'm trying to think what else I want to talk about. I'm almost done with Cruel Summer. I have 2 episodes left. I was gonna see if I could get it done before this stream, but I was like, no. I didn't want to push it. I didn't want to push myself too hard. Because I can definitely do that. I put way too much pressure on myself sometimes. I did watch Turning Red. Is it Turning Red or Turning... I think it's Turning Red. That was cute. It wasn't as good as I thought it was gonna be. It was cute, but I don't know. I think the ending especially was, like, better. The beginning was kind of, like, almost hard to get into. I don't know if you guys have watched that yet. Yeah, his mask as well scared me. And to think what was under it, as you could see some of it was pushing on the mask. And yes, you were correct in what award show it was of how it was said. Okay, Olivier. I don't think I've ever seen the word or the name Olivier spelled out. So I'm proud of myself, though, because I always butcher names. What do you think of Kate and Mallory's ship name would be? Mate? No, that sounds dumb. Corey? Maybe? I could see that. I could see Corey. The only issue with that is my mother's name is Corey. So that's a little weird. But, I could see Corey. Corey kind of goes. Mate, kind of, I don't know. The thing with mate is that I picture a guy when I think of mate. And so when I'm trying to think of, like, what makes me think of, like, Kate and Mallory, like a ship, it wouldn't be mate. Did you see Scream 5? Is that the newest one that came out? If so, no. I've seen, like, all of them except for whatever the newest one that was out. Anna and a roommate went to go see it one day, but I didn't go with them. I think they were having, like, a friend date or something. They were hanging out, and then they went to go see it. They said it wasn't very good, though. At least in their opinion. Most of the time, I try to wait until movies come out on the streaming service, and then I'll watch it. Because if I can wait for that, it means that I can write it off on taxes. So... But there is sometimes where like if Anna and I want to go on a date, then we'll go to the movies. Not all the time though. We kind of mix it up a little bit with different things that we go on dates with. Cause like Thursday nights are our date night, and last date night we got a puzzle. We like to puzzle, so we got a puzzle. It was, speaking of villains, it was a villainous puzzle, like the board game, but it was Scar from The Lion King. We'll probably get another puzzle this Thursday, because puzzles are kind of cheap. And so we might do another puzzle. But, I'm trying to think. We've been to the beach one time on a date night. We did like a semi-picnic. Well, I guess it wasn't a semi-picnic. It was a picnic. Like we went and got Firehouse subs and laid our blanket out on the beach. What else have we done? Sometimes we'll just go to a restaurant if we can't think of anything, and we're always usually pretty hungry, so we'll go to a restaurant. A lot of times, though, as a restaurant is kind of expensive. Tell you what series on Netflix I have enjoyed. In from the Cold, about a former Russian spy from the 90s, and her past comes back to haunt her in present day. Please watch that. I haven't heard of it. I'll try and check it out. I'm trying to get more and more into shows personally. I think I keep saying that. But, like, I'm watching How I Met Your Father, which isn't that great, but I love Hilary Duff, and she's in it. But, so she's in it, and it passes the time. What else? Oh, Good Trouble's back. Been watching Good Trouble. Family Guy. I think there's a couple of Bob's Burgers that I need to watch. The Goldbergs. And I think that's it. I think that's all I'm watching right now, personally. But like I said, I watched Turning Red. I watched that last night. And then I watched Encanto not that long ago. I think it was like a week and a half ago. I think it was a week and a half ago, because I think I talked about it a little bit on stream the last time. Have you ever watched that, or the Tony Awards went on TV? Not really. Anytime when I'm watching award shows, I'll just kind of end up catching it on YouTube to see, like who won different things. But I don't ever usually watch the actual, like, award ceremonies live or whatever. This past weekend, Anna and I did go to a balloon festival. It was a hot air balloon festival. Although they didn't end up, they blew them up, but they were originally, because what they try to do is they'll try to take people out on rides, but it was so windy they didn't. It was only a weekend thing, and they only do it once a year. And Saturday, it was storming here. It was storming. And so storming and super windy, they're not gonna send a hot air balloon out when it's stormy and super windy. And then Sunday was still super windy, so... And because it's sugar-free month, we didn't even get to enjoy really any of the food. I would have loved a fucking funnel cake, but we didn't, and we smelled it. I'm so proud of myself, though. I am so proud because I did not give in. I think I am more stubborn than I am a sweet tooth. So I am gonna get through this damn month. It's gonna be the slowest month of the year because it's a sugar-free month, but I'm gonna get through it. But then we ended up, they had elote. And then we got some, like, pork tacos. Oh my god, it was so good. It was so good. I love elote. It was so yummy. Am I saying that right? I think that's an actual thing. I don't think I'm saying the other thing that I'm thinking. Oh, yeah. No, I said it right. No, wait. Yep. No, I said it right. Cool. Just making sure. Because I say shit wrong all the time. Scream 5 felt more like it was passing the torch to the next generation, but it did end up on the anti-encore. I don't know what that means. I love movies like that. The dumb ones. Some of the dumb shit I love. I think they have to do it right, though. You have to do it right. Either that or you're just going to come off looking dumb and then I have to shut it off because it's so dumb. I will tell you a show that I thought was super dumb that I could not even finish the first episode. It was so bad. Space Force was so bad. And I love, what the fuck is his name? I want to call him Michael, but that's his name in The Office. What the fuck is his name? Michael Scott. Steve Carell. I love Steve Carell, but that show was so bad because I think I was trying to find something to watch, and I'm like, I was flipping through Netflix, and I'm like, let's try Space Force. I heard so many bad reviews about it, and I'm like, well, you never know. Let's try it. And then it was so bad. And I'm like, I can't even get past the first episode. Fair enough. Sometimes I watch award shows, and if not, I watch it on catch up, or like you said, watch the highlights on YouTube, or when it is mentioned on the news or other PR like magazines, etc. Yeah. That's what I do. Hold on, let me see if I can find... I want to know what Rotten Tomatoes, what the score is for that. It got a 64? It was that high? How I Met Your Father is like a 33 on Rotten Tomatoes, and at least I can get through it. Really? Maybe you just gotta watch it a little bit longer? Maybe that's what it is? See score details. Oh yeah, no, it's the same thing, but oh man, it was so bad. It was so bad. Normally I don't agree with Rotten Tomatoes though. I say that, but Sometimes, but I feel like a lot of stuff that I actually do like is terribly scored on Rotten Tomatoes. Alrighty, guys. Well, I'm probably going to jump off of here in a minute. If you guys want to talk about anything else before I end the stream. My back. I was sitting all weird for a minute. I'm trying to think of what else. So I should finish Cruel Summer this week. Not should. I will, especially by the next time. The next time I stream. Here, I'll look it up. The Last Airbender. On, oh, it didn't even. On Rotten Tomatoes. 5%? 5%? I don't think I've ever seen anything that low. The Mummy, the Tomb of the Dragon Emperor is on 12%? I love that movie. Land of the Lost is at 26%. Yeah, so none of those scores. I mean, I haven't seen The Last Airbender, but The Mummy, the third Mummy, it's good. It's good. It's great. And Land of the Lost is fucking hilarious, so I don't know what they think. I don't give a shit. As you love Space Force so much, even not making one episode, sure you know season 2 has not long been on Netflix. I didn't even know that they had a season 2. I didn't know they had a season 2. Usually, I don't like to judge shows without giving it a fair trial, or like whatever you want to call it. Normally, I'll try to give it at least the first season, and if you can't catch me on the first season, I'm done. Lock and Key, could not finish the first season. I could not get past, like, I didn't even finish the first season. I couldn't get it. I couldn't do it. I tried, but I just couldn't. And then, Space Force, couldn't do it. You know what's funny is that Atypical watched the whole first season, did not care for it, and then, like, so many people wanted me to react to it, and then I was like, fine, I'll give season 2 a chance, and then I ended up loving it. But Space Force, I had to turn it off. I was like, it's so bad. I can't watch it. By now, between Kate and Jeanette, who do you think is lying? I don't know if I want to say who's lying. I want to tell you what my prediction is. What I think is going to happen. Because this is what I foresee the finale happening as. And this isn't a spoiler because I have not even watched it yet. And I could be completely wrong, but I have a feeling what they're going to do is the finale. They're going to show us that scene of the supposed scene where Jeanette saw her in the basement. I think what's going to happen is in the finale, it's going to show us the scene of Jeanette. It's going to show just that. It's going to show that Jeanette saw Kate in the basement. But depending on whose memory it is, if it's Kate's, we can't 100% trust Kate's memory because she kept, by this point in time, I just finished episode 8. By this point in time, she has already been, her memory's been foggy. She can't remember Annabelle, and she has been seeing Martin like in different places, and she's even confessed to somebody. I don't remember who she confessed to. I have to think about it. But she has said my memory is like, it's messed up. I think she told Mallory or something, but she's like, my memory's getting messed up and I keep seeing, either that or it was her therapist, but she was like, I keep seeing, I think it was her therapist, Martin at a couple of different times, and like my memory is, she's confessed that her memory's messed up. So I think what's going to happen is the finale, it's going to show that Jeanette saw Kate in the basement, but if it's Kate's memory, we can't trust it. That's what I think is going to happen. I could be completely wrong, but I feel like that's what's going to happen. So I think both of them, I still don't have one over the other of who's lying. I think they both have lied about different things, but they're both telling the truth. So I still don't think either one of them. I think because they're both so sure on something. My thing, I say that, but I don't trust Jeanette. I don't trust Jeanette. Because Jeanette, and I think the right way to say this is Jeanette's a better liar than Kate is, from what I can tell. Because Jeanette, we've seen Jeanette flat out lie to people and not bat an eye. She has not shown any sign of lying, like, to them as she's lying. Like, it doesn't look like she's lying, but we all know she's lying because obviously, like, we've seen it. And so I don't think Jeanette, if I were to have to choose between one or the other, I'm gonna say Jeanette's the one that's lying. But that's only because I can't really, like, if I were to have to put my trust into one of them, I would put my trust into Kate. Because I feel like, and I could be duped, but I feel like there's just so many, the fact that Jeanette can lie, and she has lied so many times about things, and it doesn't affect her. Like, she'll lie about something and then it doesn't affect her, like, her face or her emotion or like whatever. It doesn't bother her when she lies, or at least from what we can see, it doesn't bother her. So I can't really trust Jeanette if I were to have to pick between one or the other. I just think what's gonna happen is that because they both have lied about things and they're both I think they just both fully think that they've been telling the truth. That was a long way for me to answer that question. Are you sure you don't want a clue for the finale? No, don't tell me. I want to be fully surprised, or fully just being like, fuck yeah, I was right. I don't want any hint, because then the way that my brain will think is that I'll end up connecting so many different possibilities and not really having a real reaction. I'll have to take him out soon, so. We will be doing earlier streams again as well. If I can, I will. A lot of times with my job, Wednesdays are the busiest days for my job. And so sometimes I'll end up having to work later. So if I can, like today, I ended at 5 o'clock. So if I can end, like, at a good time to stream earlier, then I will. But for the most part, like, I'm not completely changing my schedule. I'm going to always at least start by 7, but if I can do it earlier, then I'll try to. Do you want me to send you in front of the cold trailer on Twitter? Yeah, you can, for sure. You can send me stuff. But, alrighty guys, well let me, he's barking because he probably has to go out. Either that or he sees a squirrel or something, I don't know. But, I'll finish Cruel Summer, an episode of Legacies, killing Eve, and then I don't know after that. They'll probably try the reactions, but, alrighty guys, but I will see you guys next week. Bye guys.